creating your own web app solutions for your business. This is a quick use case on a label designer web application that I created for work. Now, we were looking for some specific requirements to meet when I was searching for pre-made solution at first. One was being able to design custom labels, print from any computer we want, access on any browser so we don't have to install software on any computer, be simple to use to reduce training time, only have features that are needed, attach an Excel spreadsheet as a database so each row can be printed onto a different label, be able to connect to Zebra branded label printers, not cost an arm and a leg each year. Now, after searching for all your available options, these are the conclusions I came to. So your free options, there's plenty around, but most of them either couldn't connect to a Zebra branded printer or we couldn't use Excel as a database for them. For your paid options, they were all able to do this. They all had every feature you would ever need, but because they were so jam-packed with features, they were also hard to learn, time-consuming to train, and they costed around 409 to 573 Aussie dollars a year. Plus, I spent a fair bit of time going back and forth with their sales teams and distributors just to purchase the license. So I decided to create my own. To do this, I first used Bolt to create the front end, so the user interface that you will see when you're using the application. Now, depending on the application you make, it's free unless you go over your user credits, and that's where they get you. Now, when creating this here, I just went over the credits when I was fixing up the last of the errors. But then all I did was I subscribed for the month, and then after that, once the subscription ends, you can still use the app for as long as you want. For the back end, so the brains of the operation, I use Supabase, and this allowed me to create a login and authentication so not anyone can use this application. Allows to enter and store your printer details and create your print jobs so you can push that data to your printer. And then I use Netlify to host the application so you can find it on your normal browser. So Bolt, Supabase and Netlify are all built to easily integrate with each other, so it was very easy to get these to all work together. Once the whole web application was all built and up and running, then I installed a local print agent on one of the computers on site, and it only has to be one computer. And the print agent is just a background program that runs, which allows you to send your print jobs from your web application through the desktop and to your printer. And then your Zebra printer is just connected to your local network through your Ethernet cord. So now I'm going to show you the web application in the flesh up and running. So you have your login, just so anyone can't just use it. It's only for your team and your business. Put in your details. Up here, you can enter in multiple printers and select which one you want as default, so you don't have to select what printer you want to use every time you go to print. Now, on the local print agent on the computer on site has been set so it only allows specific user IDs to print through it. So that way, if some random does know your printer's IP address, it won't accept the job. It will only allow it through this account on this web application. Now you can save and create templates. So here you can load in previous templates that were saved, and the Excel file that you have attached to it will always stay saved in the template as well. Okay, we'll create a new template here, adjust the label width and height. This is the sheet I'm going to use here. So you've got your 3 columns, plot ID, block and week, and there's around 182 rows of data in here. And so to attach it, you just drag and drop the file into there, and then it shows your 182 rows have been loaded in. Now, click and add text here. This one, just the size, and you can select your columns here. So we'll use the plot ID one, and then you can see the preview on the right, and down the bottom, it shows a preview for a bunch of them. You can also scroll through your whole preview here to show every single label so you can make sure it all fits on the label nicely. I'll add in block and then select the block column, add in your week now, add in your week column, and then it shows each label has your different plot ID, block and week. Now down here, if you don't want to print all 182 rows, you can select which ones. So if you want to only choose a couple, deselect all, and then you can show to only print the first 3. And then up the top here, you can select how many copies of each of those selected labels you want, or if you're just creating one template for one label design and you want to print 20 of them, this is where you do up the top here. Now you can print labels up here. I'll just make sure I've only selected 3 so I don't show up on site with 182 labels printed. Press print labels and successfully submitted. And this was all done just from my laptop at home, and it's all printing on site, which is about a 10 minutes drive away. Now in total, this took around 8.5 hours to build. And that's including fixing any errors, adding any extra features, and getting the print agent set up and running. And this just goes to show, with all these new AI builders out here, you don't have to be a large enterprise for it to be worth getting custom solutions built for you. And sometimes it can be even cheaper and more efficient to get something custom built instead of subscribing every year to pre-built solutions. And hopefully this helps open your eyes to the possibilities that are available these days. And don't be afraid to comment or message if you have any questions on this, or if you're interested in getting something custom built for your business. Thanks, A.